Despite my political differences with Gachagua, Gachagua is still entitled to the full protection of the Constitution. And William Ruto should stop this nonsense of harassing Rigathi Gachagua. Even if you don't like him, we have more young people who have lost their jobs, who are not getting jobs this year than we had last year. In terms of our healthcare system, it seems to have collapsed. People are suffering, they are not able to. Last year they had NHIF that at least could complement their medical needs, costs. Today we have Chief Shakahola that we don't know, it's not even, the transition has been messed up. Come when the next elections will be held. It may not even be ready. We shall be on the ballot.
What's up, good people? Welcome. My name is Shiko Gitao, and as you can see, we are here with lawyer Willis Otieno, who also doubles up as the deputy party leader, Safina Party. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Shiko. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Welcome to my chambers.
Thank you so much
for corner.
I know. But you're doing well?
I'm doing well. Can't complain.
I have to mention this. I love your Instagram profile. Telling truths about Kenya's government and education reforms.
Thank you very much.
Tell us a little bit about that statement.
You know, this phase where we are in, it's about the people.
Sure.
It's the people's agenda.
Yeah.
And I do believe that part of my responsibility is to provide civic education to the people. And our people for the longest time have suffered in ignorance that is perpetuated by the traditional political class, who think that it's their responsibility to aspire to those offices to serve themselves, not to serve the people. You know, when they go there to serve themselves, the monies they pay themselves, the mortgages, the loans, the grants they give themselves, car grants, the comprehensive medical covers, it's paid for by your poor taxes. That poor man you see walking on the streets carrying a jerry can to sell even coffee, it is his money. That old lady we are seeing tilling a parcel of land to just earn 200, it is her money. Because we collect money as a group. We give it to government, not for their benefit, but to our benefit. But in Kenya, it's been the opposite. They collect the money, they live large. That a Kenyan MP falls sick, as he's telling you to go to share that has failed, him is taking a plane, paid for by the taxpayer, to South Africa, to India, to Europe. And you fall sick, there's nothing. Because they've made sure the public healthcare system here is not working. The little that NHIF used to collect, 70% of it, they pay private facilities. The Nairobi West of this world. They don't pay public facilities. So who suffers? It's the Kenyan. So I believe that on my platform, it's my responsibility. If for nothing else, let Kenyans remember me, that I was never part of this nonsense. I spoke against it, and I opened their eyes. I told them and I encouraged them, because part of this speaking is to give courage to the people, not to fear them, that you can actually take on these people.
You've mentioned civic education. Now the other day we saw the president saying, unfortunately, people are misinformed or uninformed.
You know, to him, we are uninformed because now Kenyans are aware. Kenyans are asking the right questions. That is making him uncomfortable. He will prefer when you stay ignorant, where you believe that everything is okay. You start discussing the economy based on CG GDP, CG inflation, nonsense. Terms that are just meant to confuse you. Discuss the economy on a very simple term. When I wake up in the morning, am I able to meet my 3 basic needs, meals? Do I have shelter? When we talk of shelter, I'm not talking of slum dwelling. I'm talking of, do you have access to running water? Do you have access to sanitation facilities? In terms of passable roads? Do you have playgrounds for kids? But these are families. Are you able to clothe yourself? Are you able to go to school? Are you able to feed yourself? Does the economy create for you jobs that are commensurate with your qualification? Don't tell me, now government is building houses. Utakuwa mtu wa mjengo, utakuwa mtu ya plumber.
On that, you know, you have mentioned basic needs shelter, while you have people who are against the housing levy.
You know, the housing levy, Kenyans are not against the housing levy, but are not against housing. We are against coming to steal our money, to rob us of our money, to put up funny things that you call affordable housing. Because let's start from this. The houses are built on government land to begin with. The funds are collected from the people, us. Then they will tell you they want to sell it to you. And look at the cost. I've had a client who does construction.
Yeah.
And he told me they are selling houses here at 3 million. I have similar houses, better quality, at 2.5 million. So which is affordable. And yet this gentleman has used his money to buy the land. He has used his own resources to put up the house. And he's still selling a similar unit at 2.5. Government is offering at 3.5. So what is affordable about it? Then you ask yourself, what makes a government think that it is responsibility to build houses and then sell them at market rates? So government has become a businessman, coming to collect money from the people, then convert itself to a businessman and sell it. Let me tell you, where we sit, we can have affordable housing in this country for everybody. For everybody.
At this point where we are right
we can.
Yeah.
There's only one barrier. And the barrier is this. Go today to the bank that you want a loan. The bank will tell you interest rate 20-25% based on your credit assessment. Why is the bank charging you a very high interest rate? Because government today is the #1 borrower from the banks. And government is borrowing at 17% interest rate. So the bank does not wish to loan to you. It prefers to lend to government. Because to them, that's a sovereign guarantee. The government always collects money from the people, even force them, as they're trying to do, to collect the money and pay the high interest rate. If government stopped borrowing from the domestic market today, you know what will happen? All these banks you see, the Equities, the Standard, Absa, Family, they will all lack money. I mean, they will lack a market. They will not have a market to go in government to sell the money they have. But their depositors, their shareholders, still want dividends. So they'll be forced to start looking for a market. So they'll start competing amongst themselves. Which market remains? The market that will remain are the people. So the bank will come to beg you, Shiko, please take this loan. You want how much? 20 million? Here is the loan that you deserve. We'll give you 20 million. Interest rate, ours, we are giving you at 4%. That is Absa. Equity here, they're giving at 4%. Equity comes, let me tell you, Shiko, the best approach, forget about the 4% of Absa. I'll give you at 3%. Family will come, I'll give you at 2%. You get? Because they are all competing for Shiko's attention, and they want Shiko to take this money, this loan, do something. So in that approach, you'll find that Kenyans across the country, wherever they are, you understand your neighborhood better than anybody else. You will know the market niche in your neighborhood. You will know the kind of people who live there. What is their earning capacities? So you'll say, let me put up something, because I've lived in Nairobi. I've seen the quality of houses in Nairobi. I want to put up a simpler one in my village, in the local market, in another town out of Nairobi, or even within Nairobi, in an informal area. I want to put up 1-bedroom apartments, studios. Okay? I want to furnish it nicely with 20 million, I can do that. I'm putting 10 units or 8 units. Because you've identified, and they're giving them something that they wish they want to live like that, but it doesn't exist in that locality. So Shiko will be doing it, he will be doing it, somebody is doing it in Taveta, another one is doing it in Mombasa. Before you know it, you'll have a property boom of decent housing units. And it's only one thing that has achieved that. Government has moved away from the market, has stopped competing with you to access credit. So the banks have now availed credit to you, the citizen. And with that access to credit, what can't you do? With access to credit, Kenyans are very innovative and they have great ideas. The kind of business that you'll see spiraling in this country will be so many. And with that growth in business, access to credit, you're now able to start looking beyond the Kenyan market. I can get credit facilities here. I'm going to put up my houses in Tanzania or in Ethiopia. I want to go and buy goods or put up a plant and machinery to produce an item, to sell to an expanded market. So government will not be broke. In fact, what happens is government will end up collecting more money. Because you have a very robust economic activities taking place. So there's high consumption of goods and services. Government is collecting more in terms of VAT. So they are able to provide the social programs the government is meant to do. So that should be the focus of government. You are not supposed to be the driver of economic growth. Government is meant to be the facilitator. But the driver remains the people, the individual. That is what William Ruto and his people will not want Kenyans to know. Theirs is called demand-side economics, where government is Father Christmas. Always working with a bag of goodies. Nitawapea bilioni, nitawapea. Who are you to unatupea for where? Kwani do you give back to money every morning? It is our money.
You know, I saw a certain post that this year alone, His Excellency has given pledges of 630 million Kenya shillings. But before now we talk about that, this afternoon he is expected to give a State of the Nation address. For you, as lawyer Willis Otieno, what would you say? So far, so good.
Okay, let me put it this way. Ask any Kenyan today. Are you living better today than you were living last year? The answer is no. There is more pain today than there was last year. We have more young people who have lost their jobs, who are not getting jobs this year than we had last year. In terms of our healthcare system, it seems to have collapsed. People are suffering, they are not able to. Last year they had NHIF that at least could complement their medical needs, costs. Today we have Chief Shakahola that we don't know, it's not even, the transition has been messed up. People are dying, people are not able to access facilities. Some facilities are turning people back. If you don't have money, you can't get services. Look at university funding model, it has collapsed. You go to the universities today, just look at the admissions. The numbers who are admitted and the numbers that reported. The numbers that were admitted, almost over half the students who are admitted are yet to report to university today. They have deferred their studies. Why? Because they are not able to afford the cost of university education because of this university funding model that Ruto's people have come up with. Go to security. I've just seen a report this morning. Across all cadres of crime, they've increased. Muggings, robberies, homicides. So that is the true state of the nation. Look at our sovereignty. We now have foreign mercenaries. Uganda, if not Ugandans, it is Ethiopians, not Ethiopians, it's Turkish, if it's not Turkish, it is South Sudanese. Forces coming into the country and abducting people. Then you go to the young people of Kenya, the promise of the future, our young people. 67 of them, more than 67 of them were killed, not by thugs, but by people in uniform, policemen. They killed our young people. Those ones were alive last year. There is now forced disappearances and abductions taking place today of Kenyans, forget about the foreigners, of Kenyans taking place today. The right to demonstrate is now a problem. The taxes that Kenya Kwanza is collecting, they are increasing them every day. But in terms of service provision, it is deteriorating every day. That is the true state of our nation. And to cap it all, you have a Dani who has been laid for a red carpet to just walk into Kenya strutting like a peacock, to take whatever he wants. Then, as we are doing that, in the US, where governments work for their people, they've only done a contract in America, but they've tended to influence, corrupt their system. They've indicted him. A grand jury has indicted him. He's now a wanted man. But in Kenya,
$265 million.
Dollars, yes. He's now indicted in the US. But in Kenya, a red carpet, guard of honor in our state house. So the state of the nation addressed today, what do I expect of William Ruto? If William Ruto cares for Kenyans, I expect him to stand up and say, I'm sorry, I have failed you. And moving forward, this country deserves better than I can offer. I hereby tender my resignation as the President of the Republic of Kenya. Anything short of that, then William Ruto will remain to his true self, conman.
On the other side, we have seen him in one or another trying to redeem himself. The other day we saw him together with the Siasa signing the performance contract.
I can call people here on my desk to sign documents from here to Timbuktu until the heavens fall. What are you signing? Go to the delivery. Don't tell us you've signed contracts. I mean, even last year they signed. So what is new? The same thing. Let us go to the delivery of William Ruto's government or administration. His administration has only caused the people of Kenya pain and more pain every single day. That is his scorecard. So even if they sign performance contracts, what will happen to our 67 young men who died? What will happen to the ones who are still forcefully abducted and disappeared? What will happen to the kidney dialysis patient who can't access dialysis just because of nonsense transition from NHIF to shift? I mean, the jury is there, everybody can see. And these are things that today, and I love the modern world, because we don't wait for the 9 o'clock news. News happen as we see news as it happens.
Yeah.
Kenyans are able to communicate their experiences. The only thing they could have attempted to explain was the fertilizer thing. But look at even that one. What happened? The fertilizer thing, they turned it into a mess.
Yeah.
They decided to mix fertilizer with soil and then sell it to our poor farmers. Look at the oil, what we are paying for oil. G2G was, they told us last year, this is the best thing that ever happened since the coming of Jesus Christ. Look, we are paying more expensive for fuel at an expensive price than Uganda, a landlocked country that imports through the Kenyan port. I mean, what madness is this? What I'm telling you, there is nothing good that will ever come out of William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza. And even if Raila joined him in broad-based government, even if Uhuru joined him in broad-based government, because I hear they want to bring more of their people, let them continue. I've always said, this is a perfect opportunity. In fact, I call it a godsend for the Kenyan people to see the politicians for who they truly are.
The true colors.
And their true colors. And it presents a perfect opportunity to deal with the lot all at once. We vote all of them out. We get a new leadership that is about the people's agenda. And this people's agenda does not reside in a politician. It resides in the people.
Now, with that said, a couple of times we have had the president say whatever you're hearing, whatever agendas you're seeing being spread online. Because actually, Juzi to State House, he said that the enemies of this country watashanga because his government will deliver. But now the question is, who is this enemy?
You know, that's a good question you've asked. I was going to ask you, when a president talks of the enemies of Kenya, do you have aliens who come here at night and we don't know about them? At least there's a space station in Malindi. They could have told us there are aliens who come here at night to attack Kenyans. The enemies of Kenya cannot be Kenyans. When Kenyans are speaking on social media, those are Kenyans. They've paid taxes. They are part of this social society. How do you turn around to call them enemies? And they are calling you out for the bullshit you are serving the people. And you cannot retort by saying you are the enemies. Just because of your incompetence. Now those who are calling you out have become enemies of Kenya. Just deliver. And as it is, you are incapable. Even if you gave you 1,000,000 years, the results will be the same. You know, sometimes they only tell Kenyans that, oh, we are dealing with historical, we inherited. Listen, to Kenya Kwanza and William Ruto, forget about the historical problems. Those ones we can live with. We will live with them anyway. As we are only agitating because of the present problems you are causing us, these are the causing us today.
Brand new problems.
Brand new problems that you are causing every day. Because Chief Shakahola was not there last year. It has been caused by him. University funding model that has locked out over half the qualified university students was not there last year. It is today. This is your problem. You've created it. When you're talking about increased taxes, they were not there last year. You've introduced it this year. The state of joblessness, the job losses that are happening today, we're not talking of the ones of 2020. We are talking of the ones for now. That is not historical, like Cameroon Stadium, which is historic. These ones are the ones which they are, and I can go on and on and on. If I started listing to you the problems and the pain William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza are costing Kenyans, I can speak non-stop from 7 a.m. today to 7 a.m. on 30th of this month, and I will not stop.
Let me ask you this, because I was in a certain group of people and people were saying, his communication team is failing him. Do you think, I'm asking this question on purpose because I have a question after that.
You know,
do you think Ruto's communication team is failing him?
The sweetness of a pudding is in the eating. The people who can tell if William Ruto has succeeded or has failed are the people. So no amount of communication or PR will turn that. Because the people are not saying, I heard from so-and-so. The people are the ones going to those shops.
Yeah.
They are the ones going to buy that fuel. They are the ones going to those facilities and cannot access services because of Sheikh Shakahola. The people are the ones who have seen their kids are out of jobs, being declared redundant. They are seeing their young people who are supposed to be in university lounging at home because they can't afford the university fees because of this university funding model. So there is no amount of propaganda or PR. In fact, you should even take over all the media houses if you think it's about communication. You can take them over and let them sing from morning to evening. They can be singing Tawala Kenya, Ruto, Tawala Kenya, but the outcome of this is the same. The people are living the pain of his policies.
Talking about, there's something you've mentioned, and also I've heard it somewhere, because he mentioned they are enemies of his government. Okay, he said the enemy of Kenya, I don't know. There are also rumors out there that we have a group of people that is so much against his government, and it is this group that is leading Kenyans into saying Ruto must go.
So are you telling me that there's somebody who is convincing a poor parent in the village whose kid has not gone to university that there's a problem? So that man in the village is seeing it for himself.
Yeah.
That kidney dialysis patient, that one was crying in Nakuru on TV that Kenyans had to raise funds for. Went to get his dialysis. Didn't have 9,500. He has to wait for someone to tell him that there's a problem. I mean, Kenyans are living this thing. So there's nothing about
it's
enemies.
Being felt.
They're being felt. They're the ones saying it. So there's no enemy creating these problems. These are problems that Kenyans are living every day. So let him not start the gaslighting Kenyans that, oh, it is other people. That is called gaslighting. Trying to shadow box. Smoke and mirrors, trying to lead you at, oh, the problem. You are living very well by the way. In fact, you had a very sumptuous meal last night. The problem is that the economy is doing so well. Last week he said the economy was doing well. Yesterday he said, oh, we have a challenge with the economy. Who is this man? Make a choice. He's either doing well or you're having challenges. Because when there's pressure, it is, and the Catholics speak, now he agrees there's a problem. If he thinks that people are quiet, oh, it's doing very well. Sometimes people are quiet just because they can't believe it. And look at his fight with the church. What did the Catholics and now the Pentecostals joined by the Anglicans have said that Kenyans have not said before? These church leaders have merely expressed a concern, and they have raised issues, not personalities. The things we are raising here are issues. We are not attacking William Ruto as a person, but he may be the best person in the world. We are more focused only on his policies. No one cares about his personality. And no one is going to attack him on his personality. He's a human just like me and you. We don't care about his personality, as we care about his economic policies and their impact on the people of Kenya. Let him also focus on that. Don't create for us enemies that we don't know about. If anything, we are a multi-party democracy in Article 1 of our Constitution. If you are a political opponent, for me, I will not even call them enemies. They are political opponents. If your opponent who wants to unseat you democratically, it is right. Who said that seat belongs to you? You are not born a monarch. That you are going to be from a prince to become a king, then until you die, then your son takes over. It's a democracy. Your opponent is allowed to organize and do as much as possible, even wake up every morning just to throw stones at you, to advance his cause. That's okay. If you can't accept that, the kingdom of Swaziland is down there. Let him go and become a king in Swaziland. But if he wants this one, it's a republic. I'm sorry. In a republic, and also a multi-party democracy, people compete. The vice president of America has just lost an election. Has that nation fallen?
Not really.
So, and Trump has spent the last 3 years throwing stones. In fact, he started throwing stones from the first day of inauguration, 6th of January. Trump has been throwing stones. He even told people to go and raid Capitol Hill. He's thrown stones until he's been re-elected. So even this one, his opponents, let him not call anybody his enemy, are allowed to throw stones at him every single day. That is the nature of politics.
Now, maybe, should Kenyans have hope Or do they still now have to wait until maybe 2027?
The hope that exists cannot be with this regime or these traditional politicians. They've shown you who they are. And you're going to see more.
So this means until 2027?
You know, I always say this. The energy of the people is very strong. I don't know how long Kenyans will take this nonsense. And if they decide to exercise their sovereignty directly, as provided in Article 1, so be it. They don't have to wait until 2027. Who said they must wait? Who said? Because their constitution tells them your sovereignty lies in you. And in terms of exercise, you can do it directly. Or through democratically elected representatives. Ruto was elected. That was a donated sovereignty. Nothing took away the Article 1 that says they can do it directly. So if the people decide unanimously that as we are done with this, we can't take it anymore. These deaths, these abductions, these killings, economic pain that we are facing, we can't take it anymore. We are recalling our sovereignty. And that is what happened on the 25th of June. Mene, mene, tekel. The writing was on the wall. To all these people you are seeing occupying political positions, all of them were cancelled.
But it now looks like now Kenyans exercising their sovereignty directly could be hindered, because right now looks like a lot of Kenyans are a little scared because of, one, the killings, two, the abductions.
You know, it's true. A dying regime will resort to an old rule book. And that rule book has certain tools, it's a toolkit, there are certain tools you can pick. One of them, you'll kill, you'll abduct, compromise the opposition, create a government of national unity. He has used all of them. But people are still not appeased. So you never know. You know, sometimes when you push a cat to a corner, it may lunge. I mean, as you beat it to the corner, it will be cowering to that corner. But when the beatings become too much and it's cornered in that corner, that cat will lunge at you. So even these Kenyans that you think have been beaten to submission, you don't know what their response will be. Because in other countries where you have failed regimes, they've used the same things we are seeing being done here. Abductions, you legalize demonstrations, killings, arrests, compromise the opposition, create a government of national unity. We've seen it all. I mean, there's nothing new. There's no new play that is being done here that has not been done elsewhere. And it's ultimately, when it becomes too much, people reach their elastic points, they will snap.
Talking about opposition, let's talk about your friend, Honorable Raila Odinga.
Yes.
Right now, a lot of Kenyans had hopes in him. Right now, he's a little, we won't say it's because of whatever he's trying to clinch the AU chairmanship. Do you think he will get this seat?
It will be a hard fight. It's not a walk in the park. And I say that more so, not because of the lack of credentials or the qualifications of Raila. On a normal day, Raila will have had it easy at the AU. But Raila is being backed by William Ruto. AU is about geopolitics. Look at the positioning of Kenya within the globe the last 2 years. The first thing that William Ruto's administration did when they got to power was to issue a statement recognizing Western Sahara as an independent state. And that iked Morocco. He moved away from what the AU position on that issue is. So Morocco is looking at Kenya as an enemy. See, Morocco also has friends nearby who may be trying to lobby. Not against Raila, but against the Kenyan candidate. So Raila will not be seen as Raila. He's going to be judged by Africa as the Kenyan candidate. Who is the Kenyan president? William Ruto. So he must carry the ills of William Ruto in the continent. Number two, when William Ruto started his fake Pan-Africanist movement, he went on charm offensive across the continent, wearing counter suits, saying how we must do away with the dollar. And some parts of Africa were paying attention. Before you knew it, He was in Washington. He was in Italy, attending G7 meeting. And who was he attacking? He's attacking Russia. He's now taking contrary to the African position on the Israel-Palestine conflict. He's now standing there saying how the Hamas, the Palestinians, should stop acts of terrorism against Israel. See, there are people in Africa, other countries in Africa, who, to them, the AU position is supreme. AU had taken a position, you cannot commit genocide against the Palestinians.
Yeah.
So Kenyan candidate is seen as, your country supports genocide against Palestinians. Russia has friends here in Kenya, in Africa, sorry. When you attack them, for what? What is our interest when Russia and America are fighting? Why should we get involved in that fight? We are unaligned. That was our policy. So, these utterances and positionings by William Ruto at the global stage are going to play a key role in determining Raila's fate on that day.
So this means if Raila doesn't clinch this position, could be because of President William Ruto.
In fact, not if, I will say, the only reason Raila may not win this seat is William Ruto, not even Raila Odinga. On his own, Raila is a Pan-Africanist. He's respected the things Raila has done in the continent. Look at the intervention in Ivory Coast. When Laurent Gbagbo refused to hand over power, and Raila had to go there and mediate. Look at Raila's role, even in the SADC region. Look at Raila's role, just even in East Africa. As a person, on a normal day, Raila will have had it easy. But with William Ruto behind him, he is now forced to carry baggage that was not part of him before. And that is what is going to determine. He has to campaign harder than he could have campaigned. I wish him well. I mean, I have no reason not to wish him well. But I also must recognize the hurdles that he's facing. That's all I'm doing.
Let me ask you, because right now you get to a place where people are talking about the AU chairmanship. It's either they're talking about Raila Odinga or the Djibouti candidate. According to you, who do you think is fit?
No, I mean, who is fit?
Yeah.
Of course, Raila Odinga is fit for the position. If you look at Raila's credentials, the sacrifices, the cause he has fought, the stand he has taken on common Mwananchi issues in this country, I don't want to judge him based on his dalliance with William Ruto, but I want to judge him on a longer history. I don't think it will be fair to Raila to judge him an almost 30-year public career to be judged on things that have happened in the last 1 year. So to me, Raila is the best qualified candidate as a person. But now he has to deal with the baggage which he has acquired from William Ruto.
We get away from that a little. Now, yesterday we saw former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua say that looks like the government is still on his neck. Nasema anafuatwa. He says he's not safe.
I'm laughing because, as we've been forward for so many times, even my party leader Jimmy has been raided so many times. His family has been beaten. He is faking trumped-up charges. And Rigathi Gachagua was sitting there as Deputy President. He was okay with those things happening to other Kenyans. Gen Zs were killed here, 67 of them. Plus. Abducted, disappeared. We've been crying online, going to court to release them. He was sitting pretty. Unfortunately, that monster that he was feeding has now turned, because a monster gets angry. It has to be fed constantly. That monster that he was feeding is now looking for something to eat. And now he becomes a meal. But, not to say that what they're doing to Rigathi Gachagua is right. Despite my political differences with Gachagua, Gachagua is still entitled to the full protection of the Constitution. And William Ruto should stop this nonsense of harassing Rigathi Gachagua. Even if you don't like him, even if you don't agree with him.
On the other hand, we have people who are saying he's probably looking for public mercy.
No. I mean, I've been in those situations, and I'm telling you, Rigathi Gachagua will not be making that kind of assertion aimlessly. He's even shared the number of the motor vehicle. So, and I'm sure even when they went to Embu, they are not comfortable with him being there. So it's not a wolf cry. I know that it must be factual that he's actually being harassed by the state. He's being given surveillance that is not necessary. But to me, the lesson that we must learn, because for every thing that happens, we must always take lessons.
Yeah.
Those who hold these positions, at the very bare minimum, even if you don't like someone, just accord them their rights in the Constitution. Always err on the side of the law, because the law becomes your protector. So even these people are doing this thing to Rigathi today. I assure you, as sure as tomorrow follows today, as sure as the sun rises from the east and will set in the west, your day will come. Even if it is not now, even if it is next year, your day will come. And when that day comes, you'll wish that you have the law as your protector. Look at Matiang'i. Rubbished court orders here, saying those are pieces of paper. When he left office, I was shocked. Lo and behold, Matiang'i running to court to get conservatory orders to stop his arrest and prosecution. Why? Was it necessary to rubbish court orders? To rubbish the judiciary? Rigathi went on a rampage, lambasting judges to please William Ruto. To what end? Look at him now. So the lesson we learn here, let's always err on the side of the law. Let's build strong institutions. And when you disagree with someone on an issue, it's allowed. That's the beauty of democracy. We are not a choir. Dissent is part of democracy. And if you dissent, it's part of the democratic competition. Allow it and let the best ideas win. And you shake hands. William, we defeat you. We shake hands. You go home. And it's not upon the new administration to come after you. Uhuru went and raided Jimmy's house. Withdrew his guns. What happened last year? His own son's house is raided, and they are also accusing him of cancelling his firearm certificate, accusing him of being in possession of illegal firearms. I mean, we should learn some things. These things you do, you know, when you feel, I call it creating a monster. You are feeding a monster. That monster will come and eat you in the fullness of time. So we need to stop.
As we wind up, of course, this is a discussion we could go on and on and on and on. But as we wind up, Safina, Deputy Party Leader Safina Party, what's your plan? 2027. Our
plan, we are on course. And we believe the problems of this nation is the economy. And every campaign, whoever wants to lead Kenyans, people can come with their own ideas. That's the beauty of democracy. But as we are focused as Safina Party, that we are going through what is called the third and final liberation, the economic liberation of the people of Kenya. And going forward, our campaign and administration, when we get there, will be about empowering the Kenyan. Government will not be for the Christmas. Government will be a facilitator. The people should be empowered on their own economically. And we have great economic ideas. I'll just give you an example. You stop borrowing from the domestic market. That's what we call supply-side economics. Government get out of domestic market. Allow Kenyans to access credit. Do you know how much government of Kenya borrowed in the last 10 years in the domestic market, 12 years? From the domestic market, these local banks here, they borrowed 5.4 trillion Kenya shillings. If government was not borrowing that money would have been available to you and I and him to borrow. What couldn't you do with that money if you're able to borrow it? Kenyans will be doing amazing things here. Because now you'll have had access to credit at a low interest rate. And you are able to do amazing things across the country and grow as a person. That is the promise of Safina. We are not saying we will do for you. We will do, no. We will not jenga barabara, tutajenga nyumba, tutajenga. We will not tenga anything. We will just come to you and ask, what is the government barrier to your growth? Remove it. We are going to reduce taxes, and we know why we want to reduce taxes. Another pillar of supply-side economics, reduce taxes. When you reduce tax, the converse is this. You are going to spur growth, because now people have more disposable income at their hands. They are able to spend more in the economy. You will collect the indirect taxes, consumption tax, as government, to be able to do your social programs. Okay? So as we believe that if Kenyans want a new beginning, if they want to try something new, Safina is here, led by Jimmy Wanjiku and myself. But if They're okay with what they have. The beauty of democracy. See, they have William Ruto. They can continue with him. The choices are very clear. Is William Ruto and Kindiki or Jimmy Willis? If you want Matiang'i, he's there. If you want Kalonzo, he's there. If you want Raila, he's there.
It's up to Kenyans.
It's up to Kenyans. But we know what they are. They have been there for the last 60 years. No, some people tell us that, oh, should run for MP first, governor, senator, then you become... No. That is the traditional way they've always... The ones who've gone that route have been there for the last 60 years. That path has led us to where we are today. If you're okay with that path, continue. But you lose nothing for trying something new. And I always say this. Look at it this way, as a reasonable person. What is the best that William Ruto and the traditional politicians can give you? You've seen it. That's their best. Their best is the pain you're facing. What is my worst that I can be? The worst I can be, or Jimmy Willie ticket can be, is do the same things they've been doing. That's our worst. That's the worst that we can be, to do the same things they've been doing. But what is our best? Our best is exponential potential, to give Kenyans what they've never experienced before. That should be something that any Kenyan who wants to see a change, real change, you uproot the system, bring something new that exponentially exposes you to new horizons that have never been seen in this country before.
So today you can confidently tell Kenyans that come 2027, Jimmy Wanjigi, Willis Otieno will be at the ballot.
Come when the next elections will be held. It may not even be 27. We shall be on the ballot.
You'll be there.
And we are not competing to lead this nation for self-aggrandizement. We are competing to open up the space to the people. Power to the people. You see what Trump is doing in America? What Mali is doing in Argentina. Break the system. As we say, uproot this system. Let power be in the hands of the people. The people must be supreme. But the traditional way of voting, let them, the politicians will still be supreme. And you lose nothing by trying us. Because our best is not within the other side's reach. Our worst is their best. The choice is yours.
All right, you've heard it yourself from Willis. Come the next elections, Jimmy Wanjigi, Willis Otieno will be at the ballot.
It shall be on the ballot.
You're on social media, yeah?
Yes, I'm on social media. I'm on Facebook. I have a Facebook page called Willis Otieno. I'm on X. My X handle is Otieno Will. I'm also on TikTok. On TikTok, I'm called Piki Piki Ponki. Yes. And we have a very robust engagement on X. So anybody who wishes to join the team, Piki Piki Ponki, you come to any of our spaces. And the engagement there are very robust. And also, despite just not about serious governance issues, but we also have entertainment. We do dances on our socials, keeping with the trend. Yes.
You're forgetting Instagram.
Instagram also I'm there. Instagram also my handle is Otieno Will. Yes.
Yeah, so make sure you go there, follow Lawyer Willis Otieno. Not only matters governance and politics, amesema pia kuna entertainment. Thank you so much.
The only thing we don't do is mapangale.
What's your take, by the way?
We don't do mapangale. No, mapangale. No, now. One thing that I must also say. The people who hold this nation together, that have held this country together, are our women. Many families, if you go through the society, many families are held together by women. It's the strength of the woman that holds our society together. And it is quite disheartening that we have now witnessed an upsurge in femicides. And I urge Kenyans to turn up on the 2nd of December, when we'll be having the anti-femicide march across the country.
Is it 2nd or 10?
Is it 2nd? 2nd of December.
Okay.
We must turn up for that march to speak, to protect our women. Because our women deserve better. Our women are the carriers of life. You know, women carry life. You cannot... There's no other person that can incubate a human life, only a woman. So we must speak up against acts of femicide against our women. And mapangale. may be misinterpreted to mean that it's glorifying those acts of abuse. I'm not saying it is, but in the circumstances where we are today, when we've seen women have been, many of our young women have been unfortunate victims of femicide and using pangas being cut. If someone is taking a pangale, it may be interpreted to mean that it's encouraging chopping. But I don't say that is what it's about, but just the misinterpretation that can come with it. So for me, where I sit, for now, tuna dance to kifo cha mende.
Wow, so you updated on...
I'm updated.
Oh, okay.
Kufa dereva, kufa makai. Kifo cha mende.
You know to dance?
Yes.
You know how to do it?
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you so much.
Leo ni kifo cha mende.
Yeah. Beautiful, you're sure. For sure, you're updated. Yeah, thank you so much, Lawyer. We are going to follow those social media platforms. Thank you so much, Lawyer Willis, for having us. Asante sana. Thank you for talking to Kenyans. And we wish you the very best.
Thank you very much, Chico. Hope to see you again.
Yes.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, guys. Until next time, have yourself a good time.